We're doing Tour de Rhody.
Talk about tire pressure forever. Hi, Mitch.
Hi, John. I did it wrong, okay?
What do you mean? You're making the adjustment now. We haven't even left yet.
Yeah, but my valve is clogged.
Oh.
You want a valve?
No. Yeah. Can I get a new valve?
I didn't bring it with me, but that's something I can bring it on Tuesday.
No, I'm just going to spend the next 4 hours complaining, and that's how you know.
I have the
I'm
exact
having
problem.
All right, we're really doing it. First section was pretty chunky. Second gravel section. Here's Jocelyn. She called it angry gravel, angry riding. Pretty accurate. Really chunky. Thanks.
This is such a great spot. You think you could?
I think I could, but like I said, I'm not willing.
Look what I found! You found me! Yo, morning, you good? You gotta get good footage of the covered bridge. If you come to the covered bridge and don't take a photo or get a video, you're fucking up. Beautiful day. So fucking nice. So far so good. I'm solo now. Adam met back up with Sarah. I was feeling good. I want to get home. So I got about 20 miles left. Whew. That was super fun, but pretty fucking hard. Those reservoir roads that you start the ride and end the ride on, chunky, but it was a blast. Great cause, great volunteers, organizers, all that good stuff. Met a bunch of people. Rode with Cal a bunch, rode with Adam a bunch, Sarah a little bit. Rode with Amos at the end and his buddy Spy. It was great camaraderie at the end there. It's exactly what I needed. Some wheels to follow. And yeah, just rolling home. Saw Seth there at the end. It's fucking great. Nice little dissolve too here. Doing a little recovery ride after Tour de Rhody. Absolutely kicked my ass in a good way, and just wanted to reflect on it a little bit more. Jocelyn and I talked about it quite a bit. It was very nice to like sort of share a bike riding experience with Jocelyn, even though she didn't do the same route. She rode on some of the same roads. I think she realized maybe a little bit more some of the fucked up shit I do for fun, and it was just cool to like, you know, talk about certain roads and how sometimes you can be feeling like you really want to stop doing something, but pushing through and finishing is super rewarding. So that was great. Sign-in process was very easy at Tour de Rhody. Sign a waiver, even though I think I signed one online, but whatever. Signed a waiver in person. Got contact info in case you had a problem, and basically just rolled out nice and easy. It wasn't like a mass start or anything. I think we rolled out with like a group of 8 or so. But then like maybe 10-15 minutes into my ride, I ran into Jocelyn. She had started like sort of right away, and I waited until like 8:05 to roll out. So passed her, rode with her a little bit over the causeway on the reservoir, and basically lost the group that I was riding with, which was fine. JD waited for me, and I was like, I'm just gonna ride with Jocelyn for a bit. I was like, I don't hammer to catch up. So once we got to the next gravel section, I turned up the power a little bit and rode and caught up with JD, rode with him and Josh and Chris over by Scituate Reservoir and stuff. That was nice. Up Hemlock. If you're familiar with Hemlock Road and where it heads over towards Scituate Reservoir, there's a gate. There's always rocks being placed there. Well, in real life, I just met Seth Mason, who I've been talking with a bunch online over the past couple years, and he lives out in LA, but he grew up in the area, and he assures me that the rocks are not being placed there by the person who lives at the end of the road. And he's been moving them a bunch, and people keep moving them back. So let's do a little bit of investigative journalism and figure out who the hell's putting those rocks there by the gate. I did see Seth at the end of Tour de Rhody. It was great meeting him in real life, and we rode together during the sip and spin on Saturday. Saw him at the end. We stood around and talked for a bit. Hope to see you again next year, Seth. Coming out for Sloppy John's and Tour de Rhody. Great way to spend the sort of end of summer here in New England. So yeah, I caught up with JD and Josh and Chris and rode with them for a little bit, and then I wanted to pick up the pace a little, so I turned it up, turning off a Hemlock onto King Road, I think that is. But then right at the end of King Road, I saw Adam. Adam was riding with Sarah and Eric, and I sort of was just gonna be like, wave, because I was riding hard. I was just gonna wave, be like, hey. And Adam was like, I want to ride. That was a really bad impression of you, Adam, I'm sorry. But Adam was like, I want to hammer for the next 30 miles. So I turned around and we grouped up together. And we hammered a bit. That's when we caught back up with Cal. That was nice. We rode with Cal for a bunch. And then that brought us to like the first rest stop, which was nice. It was over in Green. Immediately, one of the volunteers was like, you want pickle juice? So I filled up my bottles there too with Scratch, had the pickle juice shot, a couple of Rice Krispie treats. So like sort of the first part of the ride, right, is like all that reservoir area. And the middle part of the ride, let's split up into thirds. The middle of the ride is sort of Coventry, Foster adjacent, just gravel roads. A lot of them that you can sort of, you know, ride on normally, as opposed to the reservoir roads that are usually have no public access. So immediately after that first rest stop, well, the first like rest stop that we stopped at, there was a rest stop at mile 8, but I did not stop there. Stopped there for a minute. Some people like took off a jacket or sleeves or something, but didn't fill up there. But the first rest stop that we stopped at was, I don't know, what was it? Fuck, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 miles in. And then we hit this section of the Trestle Trail, and it is absolutely, it's like wet, which like, leave it up to Grimley to find a wet, sloppy trail. It's rained like 3 times in 3 months here in Rhode Island, and there was this like pointy rock, like the route does like the whoop-de-woos, like with the ups and downs a couple times, and sloppy. And I just like set it to a high cadence and tried to like fly through there. And that's when we met up with Cal and Chris again. I don't think I mentioned Chris previously. I believe Chris is from Connecticut, or like sort of like the Connecticut-Rhode Island line down by Westerly. I'd definitely met him before. Came to a group ride, I recognized him. He was riding with Cal because we, just before the first rest stop, we saw someone out on the road who like absolutely messed up her chain. Elise, who I've also met before. Her chain was like stuck between her chain ring and her cranks, no good. Hardest thing on a recovery ride like this is hitting one of these like 10% sections. It's hard to show the grade on camera. Here we go, 6, 7. Back to 6, 8. Okay, so maybe 8%. I'm keeping it recovery pace. I'm at an average of 80 watts, so that's good. 24 minutes so far. You know what I like to say that BSP likes to say? Perfect recovery ride's 40 minutes long. So yeah, Lee, sorry about your chain. It's pretty fucked up. But good spirits all around. And hopefully that all panned out nicely. So then pretty much continue riding with Adam pretty hard all the way up Pig Hill towards where he lives so he can meet back up with Sarah. They finished the ride together. I kind of hammered on from there. I saw them again at the last rest stop at the top of that super sandy hill. For the record, I like the sandy hill. I've done that hill before. It's definitely been better in the past. That's the worst I've ever seen it in terms of like how dry and sandy it was. People were walking. I got to the bottom of the hill and I see people walking. I was like, damn, I'm trying to clear this. I did not clear it. I had to get off, readjust. I think the part that was most damning was like it was really loose and I was trying to ride on the side on like the grass line and my bars just totally went like perpendicular to the frame. And you know, instead of falling, I unclipped. But it was really hard to like get back going because it was so loose on the rear tire. So I tried that a few times, that was futile. Ended up walking a bit, getting to a flat spot and then riding up to the top. And then Sarah and Adam were right behind me, saw them up there. Filled up my bottles that time just with water, no other snacks. So yeah, that sandy rest stop too, that's also on reservoir land. There's a pretty sweet view of the reservoir from the top there. And then from that rest stop was one of the more gnarly sections, just like bombed down, something pretty steep, 5 to 10% steep, and it's like all rutted out. And so I took that quite cautiously. Some riders were passing me. Then I got to the road and I was like, all right, I got 20 miles left, like let's hammer. So I was riding hard. This is like sort of the last third, right? So back into the reservoir roads. It's really cool to be on the road opposite of the reservoir dam on Tunk Hill, like down the hill. It's a place I used to walk as a kid with my folks, and there's like big steps on the side of the hill that we used to run up and stuff. So it was cool to see that. Those last sort of 20 miles were rough, straight up like pave adjacent roads. And if you watched one of our overland videos, we met a guy one time we did overland. His name was Brian. He's from Puerto Rico. Shout out to Brian. And he said, what does pave mean? Fucked up road? And this was fucked up road. You know, just imagine a road that's like 20 years old, sitting in the woods here in southern New England and like never been maintained. So you're getting grass growing through, you're getting ruts, you're getting just like total washouts, sinkholes and stuff. And then like sometimes they decide to like repair the roads. Let's say repair the roads. What that means is just like dumping rock and stuff that's been washed out, because the only vehicles that usually go on it are like, you know, Providence water vehicles. And I was alone for a lot of that. And then local shop owner, an all-around great guy, Amos Brumble, came up behind me. He was riding with this other guy, Spy, who I had met earlier in the day. Amos was like, how are you doing? And I said something to the effect of like, I wish I was on my couch. And he was like, enough of that. Like, he shut it down. And he was right. I gave him a little bit of attitude at first, but he was right. I was enjoying my time on the bike, and it was nice to have that camaraderie at the end there. So although MBX is the official bike shop of It's Just a Hill, check out Brumble Bikes if you're ever in Westerly, Rhode Island. Friendly place, good community. They do group rides and stuff. Check them out. And I'm 33 minutes into this recovery ride. Even though that ride did kick my ass, I felt strong, felt good. I fueled properly. Definitely had a lot more fun than the last time I went, where I had a little shitty attitude. I just think I was having a bad day. Maybe mentally and physically. Just wasn't my day. Yesterday, much better. And I'll definitely be doing Tour de Rhody again. And I hope Jocelyn wants to do it again. Even if it means we need to get her a bike that fits her properly with some pedal assist or something. I think that's a good goal. Tour de Rhody supports a good cause. Cancer research right here in the state of Rhode Island with Brown University Health. Thank you to Tom and Jim Grimley and all the other names of people that I don't remember. Someone else who sent us an email. All the organizers, the volunteers, Providence Water for letting us ride around where we normally can't. Town of Scituate for hosting at Essex Hopkins Park. Just just all around a great day. You can still donate, and if you can, the link is in the YouTube description below, or you can find it over on the It's Just a Hill Strava page or the Instagram, all that good stuff. If you like this video, give us a subscribe, hit that like button, all that good shit that sounds corny as fuck saying in real life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the back roads.